to the channel. It's Gaz from Fermented World, and today I am bottling this Exotic Melomel. Now, can you see how goddamn clear that is? You probably can't because I've just changed the clarity, but that is bloody clear now. It's been racked off a couple of times. It had the fruit taken out of it, and then it got left for a while in a cold place. It had settled out nicely. I moved it and it kicked up the flipping thing, so I had to leave it again a couple of days. But today is the day we are bottling. We're going to have a wee taste of it first as well, before we do bottle it. But first of all, we're going to get it into the pitcher, and then from the pitcher into bottles. The reason for that, really cool tip I picked up off of City Steading's channel. Go check them out, they're flipping brilliant. Is if we accidentally get that lees whilst bottling, it's going straight into the bottle. If it's in here, we can guesstimate if we're going to get any, and if we do, we can stop it quickly before that lees. It's only a tiny bit, mate, but I don't want it in the bottled product because otherwise you have to decant the bottle and then drink all of it. Right, so we're going to get this siphoned off. I'm going to speed it up because it's the boring part, but you get the gist. So we've got that racked off. It's now in here, looking nice and see-through, ready to be bottled. Now, I read in a book that I've been reading about meads and things like that. This chap says, if you can read through the vessel and see what's on the other side and read it plain as day, it's ready to be bottled. So that's kind of what I do now. Have a quick read of something through it. Even if it's just like a couple of words like that, and you can see it perfectly. So, this has had a couple of additions of honey because it went super dry, so I back sweetened it with 70 grams of honey, which took it to 16.8 once I checked it again, and it had fermented some of the sugars I'd put in there. It rested at 1.000, which is dry, but it isn't super dry because it can go even drier. So I added some dried fruit at this point to try and bring back the flavour, because although it tasted nice, you couldn't actually pick any individual flavour out because there's 3 fruits in it. You've got mango, pineapple and papaya. So what I decided to do instead is add some dried fruits and hope that they kind of gave it a little bit of a natural sweetness, which they did, because when I checked it again on the 11th of February, it had added 0.14. It added 14 fermentable points to it. By then, I'd already added the stoppers, I believe, which would have then stopped it from fermenting anymore. Now, something I learned with using dried fruits, you will lose product. You will lose beverage. I normally get about 4.5 litres. I have got 3 litres of this, and this is quite a nice mead, so I'm a bit annoyed about that, but you live and learn. It's all about learning. Right, so the best part of it, the hydrometer test. No. The best part of it is we're going to get to taste this again before it goes into bottle, and then it'll rest for 6 months and we'll try it again. I say we, but I mean me. I do let a mate of mine have some as well. He was really impressed with the Vikings blood that I did, which was only my second mead, and I followed City Steading's instructions and went off my own little way on a couple of the bits as well, and it turned out bloody gorgeous. I was really impressed with it. That's still at 14, so it hasn't fermented those natural sugars, the fruit sugars, out. So let's give that a little taste. I say little because it is midday. Should probably get some lunch actually. Be a good idea, wouldn't it? That can go back in there because this has been sterilised. So is the baster. And let's give it a quick go before we get it bottled. It still smells relatively dry, to be honest. It has a dry quality to it, but it's almost tannic. It's more of a tannic than it is a dryness. Because there is definitely some sugars knocking around in there, which is really nice. So yeah, that's ready to bottle. That's good to go. So I'm going to get everything set up and get it bottled. Woohoo! Right, so I'm not going to lie, I did just cheat. I got the liquid flowing into the pipe off camera, because sometimes it's a pain in the arse to do it on your own. Now, I do recommend using a bottle wand, whether you're bottling beer, wine, mead, anything. Use a bottle wand. They're a couple of quid and they will save you so much effort. Messing around with taps and kinking pipes and stuff like that, which is what I used to do. But yeah, bottle wand all the way. I'm going to get this bottled. It'll be really, really quick because there's only a couple to do. I'm expecting to do about 3 75 centilitre bottles, 1 tester bottle maybe. Hopefully I'll get a tester bottle so I don't have to open a full bottle in 6 months. And I've just cleaned out some smaller, like little jam jars, which I'm going to give out to a couple of friends to see what they think on it. So yeah, I'm going to speed this bit up because it's a bit... That's all of it bottled now. Struggled with the last small bottle. I managed to fill both of these, so I've got 2 of them. Struggled with the last one because you kind of need somebody on the other end with the bottle. That's the tricky snag to it, because you have to have the valve open to feed the liquid into it to be able to allow you to push it through to begin with, which it helps to have somebody else pushing that down. Unfortunately, I don't have anyone else to push that down, so I have to do it myself with a wing and a prayer and just kind of just go with the flow. So now I'm going to screw the lids on these bottles, and these are bottles that I've used. I've had actual mead in. I've purchased mead online and from Amazon, and I'm just reusing the bottles. Why not? Started off buying bottles, and I was like, wow, it's so flipping expensive. It just costs so much, you know, for the honey, the yeast, water's nothing really. But then when you start adding the cost in for each bottle, you know, it could be a couple of quid a bottle, a couple of quid a bottle of mead. So these are just old beer bottles, and because they're not going to be carbonated, there's going to be no pressure in them, so you've got no worries about reusing them and stuff. If you do a bottle like this, you're going to need a bottle capper if you're going to use a crown cap, and you place your cap on the top and firmly and evenly pop it down like that, and then bada bom bada bing. Probably shouldn't have tipped that up that violently, but you know, for the sake of the video. Yeah, just show you that it's not going to come out, and you do the same with the other one. You can use any type of container really, as long as it's airtight. That's what you need. It's something that's going to be airtight and it's not going to allow air in at all. Now, I've got a neighbour down the way who I helped out starting her brewing mead. Lent her a bit of equipment, and she's her first one actually tasted better than my first one, so I was really annoyed, to be fair. And yeah, I'm going to drop off a little sample of this for her. I need to get a couple of these because these are really good for letting people taste it without having to give them a whole bottle of my mead. You know what I mean? So yeah, there you go. 3 big bottles, 2 small bottles and some little testers for friends. And there you go, exotic mead bottled. Bish bash bosh. That'll go sit somewhere for about 6 months, and then we'll test it, see how it tastes. Normally with melomels, after 6 months, if they taste good, drink them. Some other meads that are like just rely solely on the honey for the flavour, you do sometimes have to wait, and you do get a better product by waiting. Another thing learnt from City Steading is just that. Go check out their channel. They have hundreds of videos, absolutely hundreds of videos from sake. They do wines. They do. I think they've even done a beer, like showing you how to do beer kits and things like that. Mainly, I watch them for the mead because they just know so damn much. It's unbelievable. And then you sit back and watch. I watched the recap. Yeah, I watched the recap of. When I want to recap, it was like a question time or something that they did, and it was bloody awesome. And it just really like reinstalled all of the information that I'd learnt from them in one video. And you know what I mean? Oh, it was brilliant. Yeah, go check them out. City Steading. Brian and Derica, absolutely brilliant. I've even got one of their mead t-shirts, OG alcohol. So these are going to go somewhere cool, out the sunlight. They don't even need to be somewhere cool, to be fair. They can go anywhere, but just out of sunlight. And yeah, that's that. Done. Bish bash bosh. See you again.